On to LewN. He's got pressure. 3 players there. Sliding in off the stun. It's wonderful. An opening pick onto Serial. The spike down. Does he want to stay aggressive? Keep that control? He was thinking about it. The right call is made. Back off and keep the advantage.
Yeah, I think when you don't have another stun to put you back into position, it's not really worth it. Drone instead going to be used. And it seems like Camo has a decent idea that Jamppi is just around this corner, waiting patiently, maybe not, in fact. Pushing into the smoke, and the second one, wow, that's a little bit of luck that has got a very long way. A headshot onto Nats, leaving just 2 standing. I don't really see a way back into this one, and while the dink is only going to make things that little bit worse for Keiko, in fact, it will be.
But although the pistol's the first one taking contact, there's 2 players behind, ready to battle with the numbers. But with LewN going down, the pressure now on PROFEK. He's surrounded and needs to hold the line on the smokes. The Sheriff causing no trouble for PROFEK. He spotted the 3rd player, but can't quite connect it. Still, he's put them into a 3v3.
He's given them an opportunity, especially for a player that didn't have one of the guns. It means that Jamppi now with a rifle. I think another in hand as well, and maybe even looking for the retrieval from sociablEE. He's going to be utilizing that drone. I think a little bit wary that they might start coming back in his direction, but with that barrier already down and with the smoke covering, Liquid will get themselves into the post spawn.
Salvo's used up as well. Still the barrier mesh to break through if they want to come from spawn, and they don't want to deal with it. BBL wrapping all the way around, sending 3 players into heaven, and they're going to be seized up. That sound cue given away. Yep, they know there's at least 2 there. All eyes going to be set on that position. Cypher's already cleared out that right side, and Nats knows now that no one is coming from behind him. He's ready for the battle. The flash is good. They can't quite punish him in time. It forces them into some individual fights, and Keiko takes full advantage of it. The time ticking. The jump peak to confirm there's no defuse just yet. He is toying with him at the moment. And Jamppi, oh, he'll hit the shot.
Gone for an outlaw. Let's not risk it, and let's try something a bit cheeky.
Already up close. It's a bit of a risky play, but almost has its reward. In fact, with Keiko trading out, that's good enough. Barrier mesh blocking off Hobbit. And now having to break off the little bits. It's a bait. Beautiful setup. LewN punishing Keiko as he attempts to take down Jamppi, who's spamming on the wall. And then they flood in a sea of cyan as every pick apart. And they would be in a bit of trouble indeed. But it looks like they're right back on the horse. LewN caught on that big swing, dealt with immediately. And now the A site, well, it seems to be lost. Basically, as the barriers go up.
Yeah, Rolling Thunder available. I was going to say that perfect for a retake, but they're not even going for the retake. I guess realizing that you have a lot of pieces missing in terms of the weaponry, they've forced them back off the site, but that's now 2 ultimates utilized. Magnum's done well, though. The trade's back, still coming through for Liquid, but the spike is down, at least for now. For PROFEK, trying to find a way to reposition back into the site, but now that plant is being baited, attempting to try and get him in, and although he'll find one again, that trade from Liquid is within a millisecond. This leaves sociablEE to try and clutch things out. He has the cross on the spike, still has the salvos and a stun. He's got the util for this.
He does, but using it would give away his position. Salvo's popped out on the other side. sociablEE gets close, but they're already in the smoke. The timing here is key.
Oh, I like that. It's just a fake TP. Look at Magnum in the top left of your map. He's going back to clear spawn at the moment. He's having to spend extra time just to be nervous. In fact, Jamppi was watching that way as well. They've just fallen completely for a ruse that was never even a ruse. It's just a use of an ultimate as sheer bait. Keiko's been caught, though. Serial immediately again with the trade, and Magnum on the site is trying to find some damage through the walls, but has decided he's got to try and escape this one. Ults being utilized on either side with the Armageddon to try and clear that backline, but it's Nats that actually gets rid of PROFEK on the flank.
That was an immediate response as well from Camo. Stopped them from capitalizing towards Waterfall with his ult being put down. There's a bit of a gap there. Magnum able to spot the back of Camo, light him down to 1 HP, takes down Serial, but Camo, well, he fires, and Team Liquid aren't even going there. They're looking elsewhere. This deadlock ult thrown through on the B site.
Oh, not yet, hasn't. Where's it going?
Gambled wrong.
He's going for the rebound. Well, at the time that's taken, MAGNUM has done an incredible job spamming through. Eventually, paTiTek will take him down, but the damage is done. MAGNUM's quick rotation back to B after starting on the C site has very quickly turned the tide. Okay, the drone's gone the wrong way. That's about all that Paddy can hope for. On 1 versus 4, an ace needed.
There's going to be plenty of players waiting, and deeper salvos. The adjustment there, but the refract allows him to get out for free.
Oh, it's a whiff shot though. LewN so far ahead of everyone else, and now the Armageddon's been utilized to force anybody out of the door, but also force anybody out into the open that was around the boxes. A great start to the round for Liquid. It's looking like they're going to respond with sheer domination. You may take 1 round off of us.
1 defensive half when they first... It was the first time they brought the comp out, whichever team it was. We know there's not necessarily a weakness to playing double sentinel. They need this round on BBL. The 7-5 half. It could be a savior. And with PROFEK up top, taking the triple, it looks like they've locked it in.
Getting past these sensors is always going to be difficult. To see if the pace can work out already. They're trying to utilize those salvos to create a more disjointed push. And well, I don't know how Nats was that confident in the position of PROFEK, but he was correct. Jamppi's sociable. I brought this back into the realms of possibility. Bear in mind, Nats and Paddy are incredibly low on HP, and paTiTek peaks and wins the fight. I thought for sure a single bullet would have been enough to take him down. Jamppi's control early into the round. It does look like they're almost setting up for a C-site retake, as nobody currently sits within it, and Nats is, well, just doing Nats things.
He can spot one, but he can't quite follow up on the pick. The thing is, he's delayed the plant. He's allowed the rotations to come in. Paranoia is good, but there's a player further back. paTiTek takes a shot to the head, but the wall protects him. Sociable stepping up for the double, though. That must pull them across the line. The 3 picks they just found. The low HP onto paTiTek. Serial would have to have a lights-out performance in this round. Short of any big mistakes from BBL, this one surely locked in.
Trying desperately to find a kill or 2. Okay, MAGNUM's gone down to the salvos. That will make things at least a little bit more costly. Chances of a round victory are slim to none. And what seems fairly unlikely. I should be fast for this defensive side. A swing here. What? It should be into a firing score, but Keiko gets both. I thought for sure he'd go down. He was walking into basically the full team. Now with a 2-player advantage, Serial already rotated in towards that broken door. This is a horrific spot for BBL to try and dig themselves out of.
30 seconds.
And look how passive they are as well on Liquid. Right now, BBL are almost playing against themselves. They're sitting there waiting. Because what would they do in this moment? Someone would peek. Someone often does. So instead, they just sit and wait. And as time ticks away, eventually they have to make a move. And that's when paTiTek strikes, sensing the presence towards this C site. A beautiful punish. The fact that Serial just sits outside Hobbit, that players sit up in heaven. I mean, this is just perfect play from Liquid.
They spotted Jamppi as well. Oh, they're not going to catch him with the slow. And actually, Jamppi's managed to win that fight. PROFEK's done well, but it's left all onto the IGL. A couple of low players, but if they time this correctly, it should be important.
Team Liquid are playing together and with each other. 10-6. My 3-0 prediction's not looking good.
Well, they've got off to a strong start here. Armageddon available as well for Sociable, which for the post plant could be huge. They're going to try and use the Annihilation to catch someone out, but actually Serial, this happens quite regularly, where he has that ult in hand and gets killed because of it. PROFEK is desperately trying to save his teammate, but instead it's Kamo and Keiko, the deadly duo, trying to turn the tide. Keiko looking to do everything, but now it's left all onto one. paTiTek to try and fight this one back, caught in the...
Put into play with the pressure over on the C site. All this A posturing was just a ruse. It hasn't dragged them out, though. There's still 3 players close by. 4 in fact.
Ready, raring to go. And then the bigger thing is paTiTek already having that Armageddon online. Instead, it's not going to be utilized first. It's going to be utilized in combination, leaving this attack side completely trapped and trying to scurry away. Even still, though, it's only been the one kill. They managed to avoid that utility well, and Jamppi has stepped up when needed. Already finding a double in this round. And for Keiko, he needs to pull off something here. Good work from him and Serial to combine the util and get a kill, but there's still 3 more to find.
Armageddon, the only thing that stepped up for Team Liquid until Keiko got to the site. Low HP on a player on each side. It's a fairly even battle, but PROFEK quickly dismisses one from the duel. It's Keiko left to do it all. A 4-piece pickup. A defuse the time against him, and so is
he's having a crazy game on the breach, 18 and 13, but so is PROFEK, 19 and 13. Both of them just popping off. Now Liquid are trying to change the game up. They've been playing things fairly slow so far, but look to try and get aggressive and catch the opponents in spawn. It has not worked. They have got full presence on towards the A site. Spike will be planted with little to no resistance. LewN, this is a spot.
He's gone in with the flash. I love it. A little bit aggressive. The perfect amount with how quickly he's able to disengage from that fight. With one player up top helping him out, and Serial realizes it's a no-go. Backing off, hoping they push him, and they will. I'll give him a chance. But
and the form of some of their individuals has definitely helped out. I think Jamppi with those clutch moments. LewN is just walking through. And well, I guess that's kind of what you get.
It's a curious play. The man hasn't had the best of games, but one who definitely has is PROFEK. He's been there, I feel like, so many times they've gotten the disadvantage, and he's been the one to pull it back. Often not just the one, but he'll be there for at least a second. And the push up on C, the smoke in, the door open, that's going to deny all pressure on that B site. And it sends BBL into A, into the Deadlock util, into the Cypher util as well. They have had an easy time so far, but this could be where that changes.
Camo has at least put the favor back for now. The spam on either side has done damage, but neither being dropped. More importantly, though, the spike is yet to be planted, and Jamppi is going to try and hightail it away. Even predicts that paTiTek will swing, but takes so much damage. The trade's coming back and forth, but now it's left all onto one, and well, the amount of HP that Magnum has should make this impossible, but that was just for info.
Go ahead, stand your ground.
Oh, this is going to be the Armageddon put through on the attacking side just for space. You know that's not going to get a pick most of the time. What it will do is get you to plant. paTiTek, he's going aggressive. They're starting the retake early. They're looking for the fight, and it looked like BBL weren't ready. LewN, I think, was reloading, but the rest of the squad more than ready to fight. Team Liquid managing a couple back in the other direction, though, and the players left trapped on the site with no way out. The cam put up and immediately broken. They'll not get any info for their trouble. And a 2-man push-up around water. They're going to try to isolate a fight. They're going to try to force that 2vx. For now, it's not being offered up. That TP, it should have been heard. Okay, they know. They know there's one player either side. They've got the info. They're going to isolate one instead. It's BBL with the big advantage. A great read by PROFEK. I have to say, I think a wrap around and into the waiting arms of Nats. He's found himself one with the tag on the cam, but it's not the weapon for spamming, really. The Stinger tries to get close, but gets caught. Luckily, they'll trade out Magnum. I don't know how many players he saw there, but I think he got quite a bit of info, and the wrap around from Team Liquid is a response to that. They want to get ahead of this, looking the wrong way, and LewN spots them.
Oh, it makes me nervous. It feels like BBL are maybe overcooking things a little bit versus a low buy. They had the B site, didn't want it, had the C site, but I guess it doesn't matter. When your IGL runs through a smoke versus 3 players and takes 2 of them down, sometimes that is all you need. PROFEK waiting as Keiko looks to try and make some sort of play, looks to try and bait them into a fight on split. After losing their own choice, that has caught out LewN though. Annihilation with no one even remotely close. LewN was in such an aggressive spot with the rest of the team, not really anywhere near Now, they do have a Rolling Thunder of their own, but it seems like the plan instead is for MAGNUM to take some additional contact. Definitely getting a little bit further than expected. Already spotting out a freebie onto Serial, and that will reveal where Camo is. Still stunned up in the corner, but he's unstunned as they go to peak. MAGNUM again, though, will keep this in their favor. Back into a 3v3.
Show me an ult that doesn't hit LewN. And if you do, it's only because he was dead already. MAGNUM. Oh, it's a very audacious position. But he gets exactly what he needs from it. I cannot believe that BBL have made this comeback. A 2 versus 1. paTiTek, the only man standing. 10 bullets. 2 opponents to drop, and he won't even get close.
Common composition in Americas. In fact, if you look back to the game yesterday, this was played on both sides of NRG and MIBR. For now, though, putting some pressure around mid, but it does seem like LewN is about to try and execute in onto the site. Serial has, however, just given it up.
It's a nice passive play, and it's necessary with so much presence on the other side of the map. paTiTek and Serial picking up kills. That's a nano swarm. And at this point, okay, BBL, they almost need to play aggressive. They've got to try to pick someone off. I like that attempt. The Sheriffs on the ranged fight, but the shots don't land. sociablEE sends the salvos, but the players are already through. They're already wrapping around the back. sociablEE has to deal with them, and he only grabs the one. A big play needed by LewN. 96 HP. Pretty healthy. And everyone else, just one shot to the body by the looks of things. There's the first. The defuse up top, steps down below. He's got all the info. The shot, though, it's not landing. He's running out of bullets, and he's running out of time.
But I don't think they're going to care. It's a big 3-0 potential start. Unless that one rifle really can do a lot of damage. And it's always difficult when it's LewN, yeah, because he's leading the charge.
Nothing more. He's not dealt with so quickly. The pistols put up one hell of a fight. But sociablEE's left alone. The Sheriff and headshots needed across the board. The rifle's there to be recovered, but it's being...
with nigh on a full buy, with an ultimate available, but that's a huge first pick. Nats' goal in these scenarios is normally just to try and stay alive. Serial on the edge of the utility. He might be able to drop the planter. No, not quite.
Aiming a little bit too high. Now the lockdown comes into play. This is going to buy them a lot of time. Serial just tapping to draw them into the open. I love that. I think he'll make it out as well. No, 0 players detained. No detained for them. And the pick back. The advantage no longer in BBL's favor. The battle goes their way to start with. The Cove online as salvos fade. And here's the start of the tap. They're trying to get close.
Yeah, this is an absurd amount of space that he's got. Already in towards the spawn almost, and I don't know if they're going to expect anybody to be this far forward. No, they have absolutely no idea. Nats is caught again. Second round in a row where he has been the first to die, and while PROFEK is just continuing his reign of terror. MAGNUM, at least that lurk on the A site has been dealt with, and PROFEK now overextending a little bit. This goes from what was a massively advantageous position to dead even again.
It's a 5v3, and they push from both sides, going through A, going through B. That's given Team Liquid a chance. We've mentioned this many times, the over-aggression, and how it can have these punishing effects on Team Liquid, or from Team Liquid. This is a team that will punish every time, and look at it. The kills flooding in, leaving just one. Hey, there's no chance for sociablEE, surely. He has to 1 start.
I can't use that.
Old use here, though, from BBL. This is going to block out all of the abilities of Team Liquid. They're left with just their rifles. The Blade Storm finding one on LewN. 2, in fact. He's doubled down, and from this point, surely it's BBL's round.
Yeah, this would take some mass mistakes, and this time with Nats already tagged low. I'm also looking at PROFEK, incredibly patient in his lurk. It seems like Serial is aware of this potential push, but even still getting out of there is not going to be easy. You can see that sociablEE from afar is trying to use those salvos to clear the remainder, and with how low both of them are, it wouldn't be a bad time to hunt. But the bigger thing here for BBL is just making sure their own economy stays strong. An immediate response, a big round from LewN, and a couple of ultimates expended. will at least be their second on the board in this attack side.
Last player standing.
Ooh, that's quite a lot of information found by the defense. Shot not quite connected by LewN, but it has forced back the players into that spot. MAGNUM has also managed to catch paTiTek this time, attempting to try and be a little bit cheeky around mid. And although the high tide will make things a bit more awkward, the plant has gone down in response. And while sociablEE just looking to take this into his own hands, again, gone down in an aggressive position, that's a chance for a rifle to be found, and it has been claimed.
Oh, the bait out of the op shot, but Jamppi is there to trade. That's what we're looking for as well. Not just players isolated in fights, but big swings together. Sure, Serial dropped is a trade. It's making it costly somewhat for BBL as they lose a few weapons, but 3 players left alive, and it's how quickly they're being pulled back into it, how you're not just seeing one player swinging. That's
towards the B side of the map. Tried to avoid that operator altogether. There is Killjoy utility already in position, but now again he is getting domed on this B side. He's been the solo defender many a time, and most of the time your job is to delay. Your job is to buy time for rotations, but that's the 3rd time now that he's just been blitzed.
And this, oh, LewN's going ahead of the pit because they need to. The lockdown's in play, and look at the tight little angle he's in. It's wonderful. He won't get out. He has no chance of escaping, just wants to make it as costly as possible. Oh. And he's done that. A 3rd pick. Was that through the pit? Yeah, it was. Just a spam, and it lands, finds its mark. paTiTek, well, the pit may be dropped, but his chances of winning this round have fallen along with it. The operator being carried through danger, and they do not want to deal with it in the next round. The jump out. I don't think that felt like a good game for him, walking out of it. Even though they take the win. Here, he's feeling confident. He's got the outlaw buy coming into this round. He's getting aggressive. Already, I think he's tagged people through the wall. It's not quite as much damage as it could have been, and now they could have a bit of trouble with that pit up, but the spike is out of there. All 4 players safely outside the pit, and they can just rotate.
Yeah, they don't need to pressure into this. It's probably one of the few ways that this round can actually slip away from them. And with how much time is left, I would kind of expect them to rotate away, but it seems like they're just waiting patiently. Maybe for the salvos to come back. They're going to try and bait somebody to sort of run through. They kind of have done. paTiTek's going to go look in, and because of that, that's another dropped. Keiko on the edge, and wow, that's a little bit of luck for sociablEE. Now left onto Nats, just trying to survive within his own pit, hoping to find some sort of weaponry, but the spike is now planted on the outside of it.
There's only 2 on the other side, with lockdown soon to force them out of position.
Trying to put it in an unorthodox spot, elevated, so that then maybe if there is going to be a Hunter's Fury, that it won't destroy it. That's the goal. It's normally the what comes first, chicken or the egg, when it comes to those 2 ultimates. Who's going to play that chicken first? Immediate response, though, has come in. Just attempting to use that reckoning to delay, and they did, but then Serial goes walkabouts and gets caught on the lurk by PROFEK. 30 seconds left on the clock. The remaining players are all waiting, or were all waiting, on the B site. But the patience of BBL might just have done enough. There is now a lot of players rotating away. Instead, they're going to deny them being able to come back in through middle with the usage of that ult. However, the quick picks coming up for Liquid give them an advantage once again.
The cove up, the spam has to come through, and they'll use that distraction to wrap around in yellow. Team Liquid taking a lot of space. And they've already dropped Jamppi. They can start the defuse already. A couple picks. sociablEE has...
For now, though, they are picking up the pace.
Yeah, there'll be nothing to deny this plant going down. The question is, do BBL decide to go aggressive? And the answer is, of course, yes. LewN deep into the spawn, but Serial cuts them in 2. And it leaves LewN a little more isolated. On the cross back, he's been spotted already, and there's so many players ready to pounce. The re-wrap from Camo. He's got himself That snowman position covered off, and LewN put in a box will be dealt with by Serial. Now a 2v3. No utility on that spike. The spam needed to break that cove yet again. And they don't know if the defuse is underway. Having to swing in to check is MAGNUM and Serial close to the ace. They'll have no idea that that Blade Storm is there backing him up. Pressure is going to be applied, and there it is, the flash straight through. Beautiful play. LewN finds himself one. Draws the eye towards middle, and he is picking them off one at a time. Now on his wrap around. The ace, very much possible the way he's playing. And Serial, they know he's here. He's trapped on the site. A spawn is now cleared out. LewN's putting the pieces of the puzzle together, realizing the turrets come back on. He won't have free reign to move towards that window, but look who's walking up. The timing, terrible, as Camo manages to return.
Clearing him took a long time. And the rest of the players sitting patiently, already managing to catch out one. That's the lockdown into play, going to force them into the open. Camo already adding another to the death toll, but the knives don't quite land. The problem is they have to fight forward, otherwise the time is going to tick out, and he's going to land the shots, but I don't think he's got it. The clock too far gone. It was the Viper wall placeage doesn't actually mean too much. You can have those same walls in play, and already LewN ahead of everything has gone down. MAGNUM also going to be desperately low. Nat's looking to almost take this one into his own hands, but it seems like he won't need to. Camo putting another on the body pile and leaving just 3 standing for the side of BBL. That pistol stat dropping by the seconds.
Well, let's see. It's still a 3v5. You can't count them out just yet, but maybe you can now. Down to a 4v2. Time ticking away as PROFEK picks up a double. It's a quad! An ace just around the corner. Maybe you can count him out. One shot.
4 rounds. It's not the prettiest of starts though for sociablEE, in fact, and LewN trying to capitalize off it. In fact, Jamppi's low as well. They're already on their last legs, and we're only in the first 10 seconds of the round. Jamppi has got to be dead to rights here. Yeah, revealed and well, one man standing.
In terms of this pick, PROFEK, he's got himself a judge. It was an ambitious play and one that he will not be rewarded for. Jamppi's caught with a nade out. The B site has already fallen.
Yeah, they're getting steamrolled. The sheer pace of which Liquid are currently hitting these sites, the code used to defend them, and while it's looking like their economy might be about to go through the roof with how clean they are keeping these rounds. Finally, a kill goes their way. In fact, a couple. LewN at least getting a couple of orbs towards the Blade Storm, and at least making that economy look like it could potentially be broken. Either way, still an awful lot left for him to do.
Contrast to what we've seen so far.
Get out of my way.
Already LewN gone. It's looking like they're going for the same again, just a straight blitz into this site. The A site is just not being held. Jamppi will try and do it alone, as there really isn't any other support left to be had. MAGNUM now finally makes his presence known, but it's just patient from Liquid. And I don't know if they have seen the leg of PROFEK. It was visible around the high tide, but let's be real, it's choice. And Ascent coming up next. We'll see. PROFEK is going to try and be a hero, but oh, that's bleak. He had a Viper's Pit in play, tried to be the hero, and instead has been dropped. And with the lockdown in play, nobody can even really react to this. It will be the site taken by Liquid with a man advantage. And while Viper's Pit is their own, and it's not getting any better.
No, it is not. The uphill battles just become a vertical climb, as now the 5 versus 3 against the pit, against the clock, and against Camo first. He will not find it. Updraft distracts him. They're able to convert. But the round will be a different story. The step out by paTiTek. The confidence.
Your lurker being your controller player, and then your double Senti looking to lead the way. LewN, PROFEK trying to hold the line, and while Keiko has been spotted, but the site has been lost. That is already the full defense on that site dissipating. And while Magnum is looking to try and get into position, but this is the problem I have with this map in general, is when you don't have those senties, it can be very difficult to hold that B site, and that seems to be something that Liquid want to press down on.
Still waiting.
Close here, Magnum. Big swing. He's caught paTiTek off the stun, not quite leaving him as vulnerable
Keiko's
as they would
still far
hope. And
away.
a very late rotation, as you said, from Keiko. It leaves Serial with it all to do on the site. And he's done quite a lot. He's bought enough time. He's done enough damage, but Keiko's blindsided.
It was clear the map could have gone the other way.
Oh, a little duck under the shot there for paTiTek. Of course, I'd say that. Up close, it's a big battle for Magnum. He doesn't win it, and nor does Jamppi. Not like this. Oh,
like this.
PROFEK
No,
gets
it's
one.
happening.
But what more could he ask for there? Realistically, what more could he demand without being unreasonable? It's a 1v4, Tom, and they've just whiffed the second round.
Such is life.
To play that a little bit more passive, Salvo's going to be utilized. Maybe just to try and stop them from exiting. Yeah, that's the plan. It also helps with aspect of that ability. Means they can have it in play, but Kamo is so ready for the jiggle peaks. Knows that somebody's going to be fighting that angle, even getting the information. And I think just about dodging that annihilation. That's at least one positive here for BDL, but the negatives are so much more.
Spike planted.
I think that shot has pretty much sealed their fate now. A 5 versus 3, and ult online for your Tejo. paTiTek will be putting that through if they need it, but whether they need it or not, I don't think it's even up for debate at this point. He was about to be wall banged to death before Nats took him down. And now a 4v2 with the late flank. This is the thing though, like, okay, not bad for LewN. He's doing good damage, but he won't get out of here alive. His back is turned to paTiTek. And 3 players set to... Keiko spamming through a smoke and taking one, but again, and we saw this last map, when they find the advantages, they don't let them slip. Now it's BBL's chance to show us they've got that same flair to their play style. That rifle's still being approached on. There's no turning in the other direction. In fact, they're going to fully commit. Team Liquid sending an ult through. PROFEK, he's got a space behind this box. Magnum's picked up one on the walk through, and they can swing together, but they'll fall together. Bladestorm looking to recover, but it's blocked out by the door closed, and Jamppi falls to a shot in the back. Oh, this one, it looked doable at multiple points, but now
towards him. And
yeah, I don't know. I don't know how he got shot in the back there when we switched to his POV. You know, he should have been taking the fight, but it must just be timing.
Spike planted.
It seems like an error. And now for LewN, he's got the blades, but just look at the position of Nats. The whole goal from Nats is to play off angles. That's an insane shot. What's Kamo about to do here? Straight in.
That was almost his downfall. He's 1 HP. And he will go down to PROFEK spam eventually. A little bit of an overextension by paTiTek after the first. The B site, though, still has players on it, as does A. They've split into a 2-2, leaving mid open, but no one's there to capitalize. This round looks a little lackluster from Liquid, and the price will be paid. That was almost a free pick for Nats. But Magnum is comfortably in the corner. Well, Nats knows now. And the swing is good. They need to be careful not to let this one slip. PROFEK is desperately low. The salvos, though. Oh, that's given away where he is. And the ult from Cypher is going to find out everything. Exactly where they have a weakness on that defensive side. The ult thrown through on both sides. In fact, Armageddon all over the site, but trapped up there was Jamppi. He couldn't get out. Seized by the net, and they'll just wait for him to pass.
They're also ready and waiting. I was going to say with that annihilation, but I don't know if this is really the case for it to be used anymore. paTiTek will lose that fight, or maybe, just maybe, they will use it. Nats is in it. Well, the Serial already starting to, and well, it happens again and again. Didn't know the second player was there. It's still going to be the catch onto one at least, and that will make things at least a little bit more possible. Magnum doesn't know how much space has been lost as well. That walks through the smoke. And you might be looking at that door being closed thinking that's a weird thing to do, but when you have the From the Shadows online, you can steal that spike away. Sociable on the flank. This kill should be easy and puts him on his third of the round. Keiko now at the back of the site, trapped somewhat in an awkward position, already down to half HP off the back of the salvos, trying to use that paranoia to force LewN out of play. But there's a bodyguard, there's a man watching, waiting, and that man has not been missing in this round. Can Keiko find a gap? Yes, he can. That's a first. And now on to the youngster once again. Another clutch
the ultimate, and then having a second player in Nats waiting for them to try to break their teammate free, and that's when he strikes while they're mid-spray. Really nice. But this time, Nats is down and out. No chance.
Paranoia will force back. One. Oh, Jamppi even got the information just a split second before that someone was around this angle. That is an audacious TP. paTiTek is going to rage at PROFEK after the game for that. There's going to be two Polish guys screaming at each other because that is an absurd ult to stick. And now just look at where PROFEK is. He's in the back lines. He's basically looking to try and team up with Sociable because they have such obscure positions on the map.
Nice shot by Camo, but yeah, immediate response from LewN. Leaves Keiko alone. A 1v3. Well, he found a 3-piece in the last. They will know exactly where he's going, and the time's so low. Sociable, he knows he doesn't need to peek it. Sends the salvos out to do them.
Already Camo gonna be in real trouble. Love the flash and the fragment in front. It leaves them completely trapped. Either they die by the ultimate or they die by Jamppi himself. And while they went with option B, giving the ex-Liquid man a few extra.
Interested in, as Drone is the one leading the charge, it's already spotted players, and they're looking to continue the aggression. Team Liquid with a double opening, a triple, Camo for the fourth, and it's only one.
Skill coming out of Camo, and he's going to get the fight he's looking for if he goes towards that A position instead. I think he's heard the orb being claimed, the last shot needed, and it will be.
There's likely to be some aggression in this round, but not expecting it to be here. Deadly. And for BBL, with a man disadvantage already, the one good thing is they've smoked off the angle where everyone is. The A site seems to be theirs.
You can see that the defensive goal is to try and clear MAGNUM. Give them back the advantage and then not have to worry about those flanks. MAGNUM, he's got the right idea though. Fair play. That is maybe one of the most unorthodox spots to Prowler that I've ever seen. He's now fighting for his life in the spawn, and by the looks of it, he's coming out on top. Under pressure is paTiTek, but just think about the amount of time that has been bought for the attack side by one man running around in the spawn. Jamppi fighting versus Serial, but Serial takes the battle, looking for a little bit more. LewN tagged low, and now Pat back site. You're gonna have Nats just sitting all the way watching the cam up above, likely to give the game away. Camo has got an absurd amount of space. He's watching for Jamppi, but he's a little bit off on the timing. A free kill for PROFEK, who just turns around, decides to paranoia him. Had nothing else to do in that moment. The problem is this now creates a disjointed aspect to this attack.
Through B main, A site under threat. Nats, well, none of his utilities online. He is powerless, or at least that's what they're claiming on the other side. It hasn't been spotted down below in hell. Oh, now he has. Now he's been seen and dropped by PROFEK. That's the opening they needed, and they'll double up too. BBL, they're not going to let this one slip away.
Shadows traveling.
It's gone from bad to worse. Keiko down. It did still take PROFEK going for a hard
them to pick up on BBL. They've gotten rid of the utility. They know that Deadlock's no longer in play. LewN wants to capitalize on that with a quick dash in, but he's been caught. Serial on the side. The wall had gone down
in rounds before, but now he comes under contention. And to be honest, the rest of the Liquid players haven't moved.
They know he's on site, but not where. Now they've got that info to work with. The problem is Camo is taking their heads off. 12 seconds. The spike down in main. It's already done. Time too far gone with players ready to interrupt that plant. And a 1 versus 4. It's Camo that just does everything to get them in. It's like a bull hitting the train. It's not pretty. You don't want to look, but you can't look away. LewN, he's dropped Camo though. The head-to-head, One out by him, but then he's stunned up. Luckily, he's got plenty of teammates who aren't. That was desperately dangerous. But Nats won't do more than just a one.
Serial versus 4. They are...
Hasn't had the opportunity to use it just yet, and he might not. This short hold looking good. Salvos go in, and Keiko forced into the open, but he grabs one on his way out of this world. Well handled. And a 4 versus 3, Camo's gone walkabouts. He's looking for the pick, and he very nearly got the opportunity there.
Oh, Bladestorm popped. Still PROFEK around this main position, but he thinks he's being pressured. Trade coming through, and MAGNUM just about takes it home. Now this puts the man with the annihilation online, and if anything, it seems like an ideal time to try and use it. It doesn't matter. It's the A side of the map. paTiTek here with that Armageddon is going to be utilized instead by the other side. This has put the real pressure on that attack. A TP across, it is red, and LewN wins that fight, but Camo straight out of there looking for a little bit more. This time his heroics won't be enough, as Nats is left to try and clutch.
Spike planted.
Oh, they're watching it too. PROFEK up top. That smoke. That's going to fade pretty soon. And now Nats is going to be challenged in the open. It's a 1v1.
Utilize anything here, and what it's going to be the fight into middle. Camo, he's there for a pretty hefty gap in B. Now, with the success that the defense had on B side, you can kind of understand why BBL have been avoiding it. Now comes the re-swing. Nice shot from MAGNUM, but close to finding the pick onto LewN. But he lives on his last legs.
Great read by Nats as well. Checking mid, realizing that there was no follow-up to that drone. Then going back after he sees 2 in mid, because hey, that guy's got to be alone in main. I'll take the fight, and he wins it out. Now they see them moving towards the spawn, and it's worked out in BBL's favor. Mainly some good knives landing by Jamppi, deleting that util. I like this double bait though. Liquid approaching mid with a player on either side. Keiko has the paranoia as well. PROFEK try as he might to get out. There is no escape from that battle, but Jamppi does well to keep the numbers even, and the ult now online. That's going to get rid of the util, but they can't get rid of the players.
Yeah, sociablEE goes running through the smoke. I guess expecting it to be more clear than he is. Nice shots at least from MAGNUM, but it's now left all onto the IGL playing against his old squad. His position will have been noted for a fair amount of time based on the ultimate giving it away. He's instead going to cross in towards the site. The Armageddon online if needs be. Drone instead going to be sent through. Maybe going to utilize it because it is the last round, and that's going to force Jamppi forward, but he's happy to fight. And he takes down both.
Wall that we're seeing in play. This is a direct shutdown of any attempt to move towards the C site. B is wide open, completely empty, and that means the stack up is exactly where BBL are going. They've lost 3 to Serial alone, and now no ground, nothing to fall back on, no information. They have to hope for a godlike pistol round, and I mean PROFEK's been pretty reliable in them.
Well, they're really going to need him to be. That will help. A swing from paTiTek looking for information. That has definitely not gone his way. The push-up, though, from Nats is reclaiming a lot of that space. It's giving his teammates the information that, okay, they are slowly making their way towards this side of the map, and I don't know if there's going to be anybody quick enough to react to stop him from getting this kill. Very easy stuff, and for PROFEK, 35 seconds.
Now he'll be more than ready for this. Is this going to be a tap? Oh, well, there's not even a chance for it. They're straight on him, you know? They don't even wait for the spike. Camo pressured in the previous round. He's left down to a bucky, and he'll be spammed. It's an opening pick by LewN, something that I think he's not found a lot of in this series so far. Often it's been his head ripped off his shoulders to begin the rounds. Now he's using this to bounce right into the back sight for a third pickup. And although he'll eventually fall, the damage is done. That's a 4 versus 1 now with the plant coming in.
Yeah, these are exactly what you want to see from BBL if they're going to compete within this
Spike
map.
planted.
A 3-0 start again wouldn't be something that they want to have to face from the site, but how far they can play back, it really doesn't have the same value. Whereas the A site, you can clear the whole site, you can clear heaven, you can clear under. It's great. The B site, even better. It's a tiny little site. So they have forced them into the site they wanted them to be in, and now they're going to look to try and set up ready with that lockdown in play.
30 seconds left.
LewN thought about pushing, but he'll fall back. PROFEK won't get away. No plant indeed. It's going to be the full wrap all the way around to C. But look at the push out on mid. Camo's waiting. Camo's waiting, but he won't hit the shot. Now it's open. The door wide open, and they are marching through. LewN sent late to play on mid. He's here in the rotations. That's 3 players on the wrap. One in spawn. Keiko does well, but he'll only get the one. LewN cut off as well.
One enemy remaining.
Quick rotate,
Spike
catching them
planted.
off guard as Serial's already got defensive aggression. PROFEK's watching for it, and he'll get his reward. Down to 10 HP. Reactions in. As his teammates quickly flood in to cover him on the cross back. Try to punish further aggression, but the aggression's coming in on long. Just perfect. Rotations have come in. paTiTek's left with the task of holding A alone. Of course, he saw players falling back, but Serial doesn't expect that MAGNUM has gotten quite that deep, or if he did, he has not won that aim fight. And Camo's now left to try to wrap around. PROFEK. Oh, well played, Camo. I didn't think he would have checked that.
No, last second decision.
Spike planted.
Plant will be coming in. Orb down, which I like the positioning from Nats' orb. It means that he can continuously cycle where that is, but the defense are pushing into a stack up of aggressive players. It needs to be the shots landed, and they will be. And now the last man.
Yeah, I think it's an anti-reveal one.
It's such a tiny gap in the wall, though. Oh, well. Nats, he has spotted the opponent. Well, it seemed that way, but he kind of saw Serial to death if that was the case. Camo's now trying to work out where he's safe to go. That wasn't the answer, but he still wins the fight. And this Blade Storm in LewN's hands, there is a reason we want to see this man playing the Jet. It might be because there are slight gaps when it comes to the other agent pool, but it's also because you put those knives in his hands, and most of the time you're getting around.
Nicely handled. Keiko left, I assume, to save this weapon, but I mean, 4-1 up. The economy is okay, but every little helps at this point. Are you going to be able to win the round? No, but he might be able to make it more costly, and that's a risk that perhaps he's willing to take, because certainly this isn't the most passive of save positions. Here's the steps. They're on the way. This is his chance to set them up for success in coming round.
Teams are normally fairly happy to throw in, and you look at where Camo has already managed to get to, and it's quite a scary prospect. But with a man already being picked off, Jamppi's lurk on A, it even felt a bit of the doubt where they start to go. The TP in, it's going to be very confusing. In fact, Camo's currently flanking while also being flanked. It has no idea. Nats has now caught another. This is starting to become truly dangerous for the side of BBL. They are walking into a stacked up site, a flanker on their flank that they don't even seem to realize. And now Camo is in a position with a rifle that could put this to bed. That's going to be the spike on the ground. They're going to scurry. Nats has found another. This has completely fallen apart for BBL. And for sociablEE, there is just no time.
And the push up. Keiko, so much space taken, and it's not even needed as paTiTek's the one to put MAGNUM to bed.
Hunter's Fury put onto Serial. It looked like there was an attempted aggressive push up again. Rolling Thunder, but you've got Camo at the back of the site. That's the spike down at the back of it as well. That is a bit of an error with how far forward that player has gone, and sociablEE finds himself in the exact same position as before. Paranoia to leave him completely blind, but unlike most people, he has decided to liquid.
It really feels like they just can't take a step wrong. To start this one out, at least, BBL have a different approach. A full blitz. The 3 Musketeers, it goes towards A. The long committal grabs them an opening pick.
I know exactly.
Waiting here for the information, and the spam back gets Keiko. But look at this. Viper's pick comes up. Now they've got to fight through that. And even with the info, they're not dealing with Nats. Not just yet. And in fact, they don't want to go through the pit. They're backing off.
Yeah,
this looked like a site that was theirs for the taking.
They were hoping that the stun would help, but it's just a split second too late. That piece of utility hasn't helped them at all. And, well, you say they're not going to go through the pit. It looks like they're going to try and maybe clip the edge of it. They're just halting for a second. Obviously, already having that man advantage in play, the expectation is, okay, the other players are going to rotate away. They're going to leave Nats alone. He's gone through the pit, and Magnum's patience pays off. That leaves the remaining two players not particularly close by, but they are still very wary. They've been burnt before.
I don't know what happened to the trip on long, if it got shock darted early, but it's gone. It's not there to play with. Magnum instead watching it, holding it with the rifle in hand. It's a good job too, as Serial's about to round that corner. He might get a free pick on sight. Indeed he does. And he suspects
still hope going into that defensive side, but it's been the attack that has really been what shines bright for BBL. LewN looking to try and lead the charge. A nice dart to help him out, but Nats is there in response. He is completely blinded though, and that will be an easy pick for Jamppi. There's still a couple of players looking to go back in, but the aftershock should deny, and Keiko, that's a little bit more than a tickle.
All right, it looks like BBL are back in the game. PROFEK's picked up on the camo, and now 2 left to try to retake. Playing that aggressive stance, ready to swing from 2 different angles.
On map that Liquid won comfortable fashion. Funnily enough, the previous pick of their opponent, that's huge already for LewN though, and as said, you put that Blade Storm in his hands and the confidence goes through the roof. It seems like that 7-5 is on the cards unless Serial and
headshot had to be landed, and well, a high mobility target like LewN firing all 5 knives at you, it's only going to end one way. Full flood into the C site. They've chosen the correct spot as well. We've seen big misplays where one player gets a pick on A, that Liquid wrap in, have full control of that site, and then BBL look to execute on it. Instead, this time, they've gotten the easier of the 2 sites. And as you said, Serial and Patty, I mean, it's practically an impossible task. Look how much space they have to clear. And even seeing one player on site, that's a death sentence. Because Serial, well, he gets locked in, ready to take that.
Icebox with 4 kills of his own, but for now, at least, it's going to be that pacey hit towards the B site. Magnum is waiting. He's stunned up, and well, he hits the right click, but it is unforgiving this time. The remaining players are all set up in position, though. This is the one place that Liquid didn't want to go. They have walked into a 3-man crossfire. They had that. If this is cleared, I'll be a little bit surprised. He's actually going to go aggressive, expecting something around the back of the wall. This is definitely a position that you expect him to go down from, and well, eventually Nats will get that job done.
Yeah, I don't mind his idea, though, to get so aggressive with the shocks. Look at the damage done. You've got 2 players desperately low, and the repush now, there's no way you expect that. Nats is going back. I mean, you're playing against Nats. He's going to expect you to come behind, of course. His read on this is perfect, but his HP not good enough to fight. And the dash, oh, he's being immediately closed in on. A second player spotted. The smoke saves LewN. The cloudburst got him through that fight. And now with the recovered weapon, they've got the man advantage to work with. Doubled up on one side of B. And Camo's left behind. His job to equalize and get out of there, and he'll almost go down. The numbers still favoring BBL.
Yeah, I like the position in towards the spawn from Keiko, but the bigger issue is holding on to the site. This double flank coming in could be a much bigger problem. Serial should be well aware. Camo's now switched his gaze to sort of give up that extra little angle, and Keiko's done well from behind, but Jamppi is frying, leaving just one man standing. 20 HP, gonna get onto that spike. They do enough damage for what was invested.
They've been pretty consistent in that. Nice opening with the operator for LewN, but look at the trade immediately. That A aggression comes through. They see and hear a lot of presence inside of Garage and want to respond in kind by taking the presence on A, but Nats is watching that as always. Paranoid doesn't catch. LewN manages to eliminate Keiko and then updrafts with a shorty. He almost gave them an up, but instead he's taken the spike and taken the angle that Serial's about to push into. Never mind. Serial wins the fight.
Clinical with the headshots. looking to try and get in and get close to that spike. The spams not quite landing, and they've got it. Well, they've also picked up a gun in the meantime. They've definitely made their presence known. The patience is there, but Nats has won the fight. Having that sort of close sight battle could be huge. The Among Us Viper's pit put into play, and well, PROFEK from above is going to try and clear out Keiko, but he's not able to. He does find Camo though.
Oh, he's ready for the flank up as well, catching off Serial, but the numbers still trailing on the side of BBL. Shock dart into the corner. It's landed on Nats, but there's a shorty waiting for re-aggression just on the left side. PROFEK's got 3 already. This is dangerous now, but with the shorty showing its face and PROFEK being 5 HP, he might just have to back out. Yeah, he does, giving respect to that buy in the end and giving the round to Team Liquid. That's going to be 9 on the board now for the attacking side. And if you're beating... This is dangerous now. Camo's gone through Garage. It's going to be LewN that he's coming up against, but the stun doesn't quite land in the corner. And Camo avoids it completely.
Oh, Hunter's Fury's done well though. Social managing to pick off paTi and almost baits in the fight. Okay, LewN has been lost on the other side of things, and now the Rolling Thunder being used. They're trying to pad the gap with the ultimates, but somehow Serial gets 2! I don't know how he's managed to just tap those remaining players. The reveal at least will give away the game that they've made it onto the other side of the map. MAGNUM even going to try and get him before he can escape. He's got the close range weapon in hand and will be able to now retrieve an upgrade, and even had the cam still there. They know exactly where Serial is, just trying to get this one to half. In fact, may even want to try and leave him convinced they're going that little bit further. And just off on the side, there's nothing he can do about it. No chance to get them some sort of advantage. Jamppi's going to go walkabouts, and with no information, that will be to his demise. In fact, Nats has just held the line all on his own. Nats will finally be dealt with, but well, now you're kind of just looking at sociablEE to see what he can do, hoping that he'll get something. But you can see the Liquid are well aware of the potential. Camo, well, he's got to feel a bit hard done by, but the job is done in the round.
Win's a win at the end of the day. Huge round by Nats. You got to send 4 players after him before you can take him down, and that flank protection working wonders. Shoulders there, hunting him down. They're close.
Somebody's here. PROFEK with a pistol will be the first to peek, and while it is easy pickings for Liquid.
That's left as point of contact on this A site. The camera has heard the steps. It's being destroyed as it saw Nats on short. But they are way too far away to do anything about this plant. And this weapon is the only real thing that looks favorable for them. Unbelievable performance needed. 5v3. I'm not sure that they needed the flank, but now Serial's given them a weapon. Perhaps a chance.
Yeah, I do question, though, whether or not just holding onto these guns is more worthwhile. The jump down, okay, a little bit blindsided, but now...
When Nats has that control, now they'll go for a direct play. Straight into the site. Hunter's Fury chasing them down. Camo's going to be stunned, but he's safe in the corner for now. PROFEK barely staying alive, and Camo's good for 1. PROFEK's being hunted down, shock darts and everything. Camo just needed 1 shot as he slid in. And a Hunter's Fury in return that finds 1 at least. Jamppi finds 1. The advantage is theirs, but the pit is down. And it's blocking off their way back in. Walking out through Garage seems like the best option. Going through that smoke is dangerous. They've got the reveal. They've seen where Nats is. They've dropped him. They've dropped the pit. And the reveal up close gets Keiko. Oh, the Nats dealt with in the previous round from within his pit. And he's walking up short alone, but it looks like they are ready and waiting to peek him. In fact, not waiting. They are just swinging in. Nats tucked in the corner. If he steps out, he's going to have to fight for his life.
Oh, there's the aftershock. Oh, actually managed to get away by the skin of his teeth. Even still, though, they're yet to make the move back. The aggressive position of MAGNUM is the reason that the BBL are still so confident. The trips are online as well into middle. Then normally you'd see this utility challenged for, damaged, or at least attempted to be removed. But as of right now, it seems like Liquid are kind of tunnel visioned in. I don't know what it is they've seen that makes them confident to commit and not even checking the angle properly. Even still, it's ended as a 1v1 trade, and now left alone
30 seconds left.
will just be Keiko. Spike dropped. He does have the From the Shadows, but leading the way is Camo. They're going to have a decent idea that Sociable loves to try and find those spams. Rolling Thunder going to be utilized as they'll try and get back into the site. Shock darts being thrown through. Nats is the first to fall. Close in the corner is one, as the drone will at least reveal, but now Camo's been dealt with as well. That's the close range player already gone from action. 3 now stand in the way of BBL on their first victory and qualification to EWC. It comes down to this. paTiTek with a start. Keiko's doing well to try and hold on to that line. They're trying to slow them down as much as humanly possible, but they cannot slow them enough. BBL will be taking the best of 5, and they'll be making their way to Riyadh.
You failed. Now flee.